Thank you for joining me today at Jetersblessings. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. So the supplies we use today is I have this 21-inch deco mesh and a 10-inch deco mesh, some ribbon, these pipe cleaners from Hobby Lobby. The Gnome sign is from the Dollar Tree. And then I have the work rail that came from Craft Outlet, and I've actually used it 1 year, and I'm reusing it. I cut off the greenery that was on it previously so I could attach my own pipe cleaners. So I'm showing you here, I just basically take the pipe cleaners in half and I do a V form, and then I take one of the ends and go diagonal and go under and over. So as you can see a little bit better here, I'll take one, which I'll go over the rail, then I'll come up under the other side diagonally, and then I'll do the same with the other end of the chenille stem, and then I just tie them together, just a little couple of twists there. And I do that to all of the 6 crossbars, and it'll give you a total of 12 chenille stems. So then I take my 21-inch deco mesh, I measure out 6 inches for the tail, and I attach that into a corner chenille stem. From that chenille stem, I actually measure out 10 inches to make a 10-inch poof and attach it to the next chenille stem. And I do that for each one. So I measure out 10 inches to make a poof, and then I'll actually fluff it all out at the end. So then at the end, just before I cut it off, from that last chenille stem, I will measure out another 6 inch for the tail, and I'll just trim that off. And then I'll do the same for the other side. So then I have my 10-inch deco mesh already pre-cut in 12-inch lengths. And then I do a ruffle where I actually will do one for each of the chenille stems. And then I put it right on top of the chenille stem and tie it in. So depending on the quality of your deco mesh and also the type of deco mesh, it would show. So for like example, sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. So for the 21-inch deco mesh, it's white, it's a little thinner, so it doesn't seem to be as poofy. It doesn't seem to be holding up as well. It is holding up okay, but if you had a more thicker quality type, then you would actually, it would stand up more. It would make it taller, I would say. And you can get some really good deco mesh at Craft Outlet. So I always get mine at either Hobby Lobby or Craft Outlet. And Craft Outlet is a pretty reasonably priced, and especially for the quality that you get. And you can always go in there and find sales. But if you do any type of deco mesh wreaths or swags like this, I would suggest go ahead and go to Craft Outlet and at least check them out. So I have these ribbons that are already pre-cut at 14 inches, and I've already dovetailed them. So I just take them, put them together, find the middle point, then I pinch it at the middle point, and then I just add it right on top of the ruffles and twist it a couple of times. Now for this swag, I chose to do it pretty simple. Just not putting a whole lot of other smaller details into it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my pencil and I'm making curls with the chenille stems. I personally do not like cutting my chenille stems off, so either you can fold them up under and tuck them underneath the deco mesh, or here I chose the green so I could use it as a little contrasting color because I wasn't going to add anything else. So I did that to all of the chenille stems. And then I'm going to take the rest of the ribbon and make 2 bows, one for the top and one for the bottom of the swag. And I'm just showing you here that this is how I typically make all my bows, because it is pretty easy, and I don't measure. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that both of the bows are close to the same length, so I'm just measuring them up to make them, to make the folds equal. And then I wrap it around about 2 times on one side and 3 times on the other side. So what I'm going to do here is on one of these, after I fold it and find the middle point, on this first one I'm actually going to cut triangles, and it's going to help with the fluffing of the bows when we get to that point. It helps you manipulate the bows, and it allows them to move and be more in the center. If you don't do the triangles or the slits in this next set of loops, when you go to fluffing, it will tend to make your bow loops stay more on the outside, and you won't get as much to be in the middle part. It's a little harder, so I like to do that. Then I take the rest of the ribbon on each one. For some reason, the ornament ribbon had a lot extra left over than the green one did. I got them both at Hobby Lobby, and they were both about 30 feet, I believe. And so I just take it and I'm cutting them into equal parts so I can have the same length tails on both bows. So then I'll fold those, cut the slits in them, and I'll attach the loops on top of the tails and attach them with a chenille stem, and you'll see that in just a second. Now I leave the chenille stem the length that it is, because that's what I'm going to utilize to attach the bow to the work rail. Now, I personally don't find that the triangle versus the slit is any better than the other one. I just wanted to show you a couple of different ways of doing it. So whichever one that you like, then you can most definitely do. So then I just find in the middle section a good place to attach the bows. And what I'm doing here is I attach them to the sides first, so it'll help keep it centered, and then I attach it to the top rail. Now I'm just going in and fluffing out the bow. So as you can see, when I was talking earlier about having the loops in the center, you'll see that once my bows are fluffed out well, then you'll see that the loops are actually in the center, and it's not kind of making a circle where if you look at some people that don't do bows very well, their bows won't be as full in the middle. It tends to just stay on the outer portion. So I take my Dollar Tree wreath and a couple of other my Dollar Tree sign, a couple of the chenille stems, and I just hot glue those together. Now typically I would like to staple them with my staple gun if it is thick enough, but my staples are a little too long, so it would pierce through the sign, and I don't want that. Now if you have some extra paint sticks or handles or some craft sticks that you want to go ahead and glue onto the board, your sign first, and then you put your chenille stems on top of that and staple it that way. You could do that as well. I just didn't think about it, and I didn't want to have to go and get any craft sticks. So I was just working with what I had right next to me. So I just attached my second bow and fluffing out the wreath, the bows. And that's, honestly, I don't really like to fluff them out. That's not one of my favorite things to do, but I definitely do love the outcome of it. And that makes it definitely worthwhile. So here I'm just going to dovetail the ends. Sorry if I'm a little off screen. But you would just fold them long way. And then as you see, I'm cutting from the folded edge to the end of the ribbon. And it'll give you that little angled cut. So I'm just going to attach the sign pretty much the same way that I attached the bows. I'm actually going to attach it to the side portions of the rail. That way it'll hold up and become balanced. Now what you want to make sure that when you're attaching them, you don't want to attach the chenille stems in too tight. You don't want to pull them, because then what you do is you pull your sign into your deco mesh, and it can get lost, and definitely it would not look as well as it should. You want to make it kind of where it's loose, not too loose where it's just flopping around a lot, but to where it's sitting comfortably on top of the deco mesh. So then I had this gnome that I had got from Hobby Lobby, and I just took a white chenille stem and attached it under his beard and around his body, and I'm just trying to get it attached there. Now I will say I did play with this for quite a bit, and I ended up just changing it in several times, but finally came up with something that I like, and here is the finished result. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below.